All right, folks, welcome to another President Trump press conference from the White House. Stay tuned live here at Golden State Times for full coverage of President Trump. Earlier today, the president signed some executive orders and he spoke at a roundtable. If you guys missed it, it should be uploaded onto the channel. So when you get a chance, make sure you go and check it out. We're going to be switching over to the White House press briefing room in just a few moments, and we're going to be turning on the hot mic and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys please share the live stream on social media. Don't forget to share it on Facebook and Twitter and Gab and Reddit, Parler, and all of those other social media sites. Once again, we're going to be switching over to the White House in just a few moments, turning on the hot mic and getting ready for President Trump. Make sure you guys please share the live stream on social media, and don't forget to click the thumbs up button. That helps us out a lot. If you share the live stream on Twitter, we'll give you a shout out as a thank you for your help and your support. And while you're sharing the live stream on Twitter, make sure you follow us at Gold State Times. All right, folks, so right before we switch over to the White House for the press conference, we're going to be giving some shout outs here. We're going to start off with Bruce B. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. We'd also like to give a big thank you to Tina Angelo for sharing the stream. We want to give a big thank you to Golden State Times. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Native Physics for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Mildred for sharing the stream. Also to Pam Nelson. Thanks so much, Pam Nelson, for your support sharing the live stream on social media. All right, folks, here we go. So we would like to give a big thank you to Danny Flores for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Country Girl for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Tim. Thanks so much, Tim, for sharing the stream. And we also like to give a big thank you to Sarah and Sienna. Thanks so much, Sarah and Sienna, for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Billy Knoll and also to California Patriot Girl for sharing the stream. Thank you so much to Rick MC Minnesota, I believe. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Ambassador of Truth, thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Karina Olson, to Smiley, and to Judith. Thank you so much, Judith, for your help and your support. We also like to give a big thank you to Robert and also to Dog and to Stan. Thanks so much, Stan, for sharing the live stream. All right, folks, so we'll be switching over to the White House, turning on the hot mic and all that good stuff in just a few moments. We're waiting for the green light, the thumbs up from the White House to start streaming. So that's all we're waiting for right now. So while we wait for that thumbs up, that green light for us to start streaming, then we will switch over. But for right now, let's give some shout outs here. All right, so 3-minute warning for us to switch over to the White House. Okay, so I just got the word right now from the White House. Thank you so much to John Nada for your support sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Deplorable Golden for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to 15 Stairs for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Jake and Joe, I can't say the rest of it, but Joe, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Sometimes I have to be careful because people like to be sneaky. All right, Josh, thank you so much, Josh, for sharing the stream. Also to John, thank you so much, John. EYOTV, thanks so much for your support sharing the stream. Sam, thanks so much, Sam, for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Band of Brothers and Sisters for sharing the live stream on social media. We'd like to give a big thank you to Michael Millard. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing the stream. All right, folks. So once again, don't forget, if you like to help out Golden State Times, the best way to do it is sharing the live stream on social media. If you share it on Twitter, we'll give you a shout out as a thank you for your help and your support. This live stream is 100% ad-free. There's no advertisements anywhere on this live stream. This live stream is made possible by Patriots who help us through Super Chat, and also the Patriots in the chat with the Trump hats next to their name. They are our sponsors. We do not have huge corporations sponsoring us. We do not have huge corporation throwing money at us like other news networks. What we have is the support of Patriots, just like you, helping us out, live streaming this event, these events, future live stream events, to Patriots all over the country and all over the world. So we like to give a big, big thank you to our sponsors, the Patriots, with the Trump hats next to their name in the chat. They're in the chat right now. You know, give a big wave. And thank you so much for your help, folks. So once again, President Trump is delivering a press conference in just a few moments. We're going to be switching over to the White House and turning on the hot mic momentarily. All right, folks, I'd like to give a big thank you to the great Malenko for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the free press. This live stream is 100% ad-free. It is brought to you by the Patriots that have the Trump hats next to their name in the chat. Those are our sponsors. So this is a sponsored live stream through the Patriots that you guys see in the chat with the Trump hats next to their name. We're going to be switching over to the White House in just a few moments. The White House always likes to play tricks with us. And just give us a few more moments. We'll be switching over to the White House press briefing room, turning on the hot mic and all that good stuff. So please share the live stream on social media. If you'd like to help out Golden State Times, then all you have to do is just click that share button, copy and paste the link to this live stream on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Gab, your Reddits, your Parlors, whatever social media you have. If you share it on there, it helps out the channel immensely. Also, get Patriots into the chat. If you don't see him on here, get him on. Tell him that we're going to be switching over in just a few moments, so get him in the chat. Thank you so much, folks, and we will see you very soon. All right, folks, so I'd like to give a couple thank yous here to everyone that is sharing the live stream on social media. We want to start off with Audrey. Thanks so much, Audrey, for sharing the stream. Also, Bobby. Thank you so much, Bobby, for sharing the stream. We want to give a big thank you to Kath by Choice and also to Lina Ranfola. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Also, Bobby, once again, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Cassandra Todd, thank you so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Robert Gambino and Kimi Jones. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Deplorable Trump Lover and Deplorable Golden. All right, folks, so we have footage from inside the White House. Finally, the White House gave the okay to start streaming. So just give me a second while I switch over here from from my end. I'm going to switch over to the White House. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your help and your support, sharing the live stream, giving it a thumbs up. All those things help us out immensely, folks. All right, let's see if the hot mic is on. All right, so we'll be turning on the hot mic in just a few moments. But we do have the footage from the White House. And the hot mic should be on in just a few moments. All right, folks, so this is live footage from the White House press briefing room. We're going to be turning on the hot mic in just a few moments. All right, folks, I'd like to give a big thank you to Tanya for your support through Super Chat. And I apologize that I haven't been able to give shout outs to everyone that is supporting us through Super Chat and membership. I'm trying to make sure that, we get the footage, everything is running smoothly and all that good stuff. I just want to make sure that we are ready to go once President Trump is set to come out. Now, this event is scheduled to begin in 3 minutes, so let's see what the president has to say. And please share the live stream on social media. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, and we'll turn on the hot mic in just a few moments. All right, folks. So the hot mic is now on. The hot mic is now on. President Trump should be coming out very soon. So let the Patriots know in the chat that the hot mic is now on. Let's listen in. We never know what we might hear.
Here, I'm going to give you a little test. Open. 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2, 3, 2, 1. Somebody's testing 1. Somebody said hard short is going on, and somebody has the microphone is on. Okay, that's what I need to know. Okay, thanks. I'll call it.
All right, folks, I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone that is supporting us through membership and through Super Chat. Because of you, we're able to live stream this event to Patriots all over the country and all over the world. Thank you so much, Patriots. If you'd like to help out Golden State Times, all you have to do is share the live stream on social media. That is it. That's all we ask for. Also, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and say hello in the chat. All of those things together helps out the channel immensely. Also, if you can, go and get Patriots and bring them over to the chat. Go get Patriots and bring them over to the chat, and you'll help out Golden State Times immensely too. So thank you so much to everyone that is working as a team here at Golden State Times, so we can bring more of what's going on to more people, not only on social media but here on YouTube, so they can actually listen in to these events, listen in to what President Trump has to say directly from him, not some news network on TV.
That's the way it should be. That should be kind of cute. A little thing. Alrighty. So, in terms of our numbers, some game is going to get those. This guy. Alright. Okay. Okay.
All right, folks, so just a couple updates. One, there is slow mode in the chat. It's 15 seconds. I know it might not look like it, but there's slow mode in the chat. 15 seconds, I think it's a good amount. I don't want to put it up to 30 seconds. It would just mess up the flow and you know, and the conversations in the chat. So I think 15 seconds is good enough for a slow mode on the chat. And yeah, there's just a lot of Patriots that have something to say today, which is awesome. We always love to see that. We're a place where all ideas come together and then we'll talk about it, you know. And another thing too is that we don't have many trolls here on this live stream. We are a troll-free zone, which is a very good thing. We have awesome mods, and if you are in the chat, mods, say hello. And we have awesome mods that keep the chat clean and enjoyable for everyone. If you are sharing the live stream on social media, we'd like to give you a big thank you for your help and your support. As you guys can see, this live stream is ad-free. There's no advertisements anywhere on this live stream. This is an ad-free experience here at Golden State Times. And we'd like to give a big thank you to all the Patriots with the Trump hats next to their name in the chat. Because of you, we're able to bring this live stream to Patriots all over the country and all over the world. We cover President Trump fairly and completely. 24/7, 365. No matter where the president is going to be or where he's traveling to, we are there to cover him fairly and completely. We don't have any pundits, reporters, or anything like that telling you what to watch or how to think or what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. You watch it for yourself. You watch all of these events for yourself, and you come with come up with your own conclusion. If you need any help, then we are here to help you and guide you in the right direction or let you know about certain information. But we are just here to help you. We're not here to tell you how to think or what to watch, what not to watch, when you can watch it for yourself. That is what we do here at Golden State Times. I'd like to give a big thank you and a welcome to all the Patriots that are becoming new members today. We have Troy Carlock, thanks so much for becoming a new member. Also, Happy Lady, thanks so much for becoming a new member. And we also have Dwight Oldham, thank you so much for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. Great Patriots. Now, every single time that you type in the chat, a Trump hat will come up next to your name. And also in the comment section of our videos to let everyone know that you support the Free Press. Now I'm going to look because we do have more members that more Patriots that became members today, so we're going to give some shout outs in just a few moments. All right, folks, so I'd like to give a big thank you to the Nonchalant. Thank you so much for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. I'd like to give a big thank you to the Great Malenko for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We also like to give a big thank you to Rosalind Infinger. Thank you so much, Rosalind, for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We also like to give a big thank you to Marsha Wood for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We like to give a big thank you to Arizona Cowboy 1963 for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We also like to give a big thank you to Birdie Adams. Thank you so much for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We like to give a big thank you to Dwight Oldham for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We also like to give a big thank you to Marianne Nelson for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We also have Productions by Waverly. I hope that's how your name is. Thank you so much for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We like to give a big thank you to Grandma Patriot for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We like to give a big thank you to Nicholas R. Griffith Q. Thank you so much for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. Give me 1 second here, folks. I want to make sure that everything is good. We like to give a big thank you and a welcome here to, give me 1 second here. We like to give a big thank you and a welcome to JJ Cruisin. Thank you so much, JJ, for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the Free Press. We also have JPTR2A. Thank you so much for your help and your support through Super Chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much also to Rose Quartz for your support through Super Chat. And we also have Kim Elaine Moore. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. We also have, let's see here, give me 1 second. Michelle Warden, thanks so much for your support through Super Chat. We also like to give a big thank you to Chingon. I apologize if I said that wrong. Thank you so much for your support, sharing supporting us through Super Chat. Thank you so much for believing in Golden State Times. All right, give me 1 second, folks. I do not want this thing to get messed up here. Let me know, how is the live stream right now? Can you guys hear the hot mic good? Is the video good? Is everything? Just want to make sure here. We're going to give more shout outs to everyone that is supporting us through Super Chat and also through membership. We'd like to give a big thank you and a welcome to Joan Butcher. Thanks so much for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the free press. We also like to give a big thank you to Carson Cole for your support through Super Chat. And we also like to give a big thank you to SoFly. Thank you so much, SoFly, for your support through Super Chat. And we'll also like to welcome a new member. We have Jamie Donovan. Thank you so much for becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the free press. We would like to give a big thank you to Joan Liu. Thank you so much, Joan, for your help and your support through Super Chat. Because of you, we're able to live stream this event to patriots all over the country and all over the world. We wanted to give a big thank you to all the new members that we had today. Thank you so much for your help and your support, guys. Because of you, we're able to live stream future events at the White House or wherever President Trump is going to deliver a speech. We are there to cover him fairly and completely. And because of you, we're able to do these live streams. As you guys can see, there's no advertisements anywhere on these live streams.
So they got is gonna secure the silver. Sebastian's got a fancy, 50-foot tri-hole.
Yeah.
We slipped it. Cost more than my house.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Nice.
Hair intact.
They're intact.
Hey, Sharon,
Yeah.
you gonna bring the earpiece up here?
Oh, the mold.
Oh,
Oh, the which one?
if you want to use the one that's under the chair.
Oh, I have one that's on me. Oh, I can use that one. What do you want to do? Excuse me.
Not travel the storm where I can't get it done. Good idea. Good, how are you?
All right, folks, so let President Trump know that you are ready to go. Give a shout out to your city, to your state, to both, or to country, wherever you're tuning in from. So give a shout out to your city, to your state, or to the country where you're tuning in from to watch President Trump at this press conference. Sound off in the chat.
Remember that. That's good. I heard your name.
Do you need, okay, I don't know if they're gonna take anything from here, but for asking questions, or any like, to get the questions picked up, or that over?
Over here.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
that's.
This is just if they call me, if they wanna do that afterwards.
That's working all day.
Okay. Okay, all right.
You need this?
Chris Vance?
Okay.
You need
I'm gonna
this?
try to,
Yeah, I got that. Here you go. Are you all set? I think so. Want it back?
No, I can put it back though. It goes
I'm over there.
Okay, cool. Oh, actually, I do need it. That's nowhere near in focus.
What do you need? No, but they, it's like a pretty rude, yeah. Rad. So after everyone gets what they want, we don't have to go and yeah, it's sort of, grab it anyway. I don't think anyone's going for this angle. That's cool. Really? I think that's the worst. I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's a sidewalk. There's not much you can do with it.
That's why the ladder was there.
Put the sign here on the shoulder.
The ladder changes that angle a lot.
So you can get a crappy picture from behind. Kidding. I'm glad they delayed it for you, Jonathan. You know, we had like
What's that?
I had about 5 hours to do this.
Yeah. This thing isn't happening until 6:45.
Did you guys ask if we could document this?
What's that?
Did you ask if we could document this? What? Yeah. Where's it go? Can I document? Can I document it? I was just here referring to that.
Whoa, what are you doing?
You need to focus?
I need to kill this bug, but I don't know what it is. It's humongous.
All right, folks, don't listen to that idiot. He was just cracking a joke. It was just all a joke what he was saying about that stupid time.
No, it's not.
Don't listen to that idiot. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Once again, it's set to begin right now in 2 minutes. It's set to begin in 2 minutes,
Bye, buddy. Not that I don't love
and President Trump should be coming out, so just stay tuned.
No, it's
Once again, don't listen to that idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
much longer. I just didn't want him hopping on my shoulder in the middle of this thing. Sorry, bud.
Well, those are all over my house, so I'm okay with it. Especially my kitchen. You know, the temperature fluctuates 25 degrees. Cracks all over the walls. Like, is it perfect? Both? I think it was the one that's like there. The one that beats there's massive. I have the. I mean, it's by far the because the temperature fluctuates. And it's
All right, folks, 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Make sure you guys please share the live stream on social media and go get your coffees, your popcorn, because this is going to be good. Make sure that you guys please share the live stream. Click the thumbs up button. 2-minute warning.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you very much. I want to start by providing information on our response to Tropical Storm Isaias. It's a very interesting name. Last week, the storm hit Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, and I've issued emergency declarations to support our response in both of those areas. So that's Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. This week, the storm passed just east of Florida. Got a little bit lucky, didn't hit Florida too hard. Working with the governor, working with everybody, but it did not hit directly, as a lot of people thought it might. It's currently off the coast of South Carolina, heading northward to North Carolina. Is expected to make landfall sometime this evening as a Category 1 hurricane. Very serious, a lot of water coming from that storm. I've already issued emergency declarations for Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, and FEMA's personnel, and they are great. They're doing a job. They're already on the ground in all areas. Every single area that we mentioned is covered. Over the next several days, there's expected to be heavy wind and rain in the coastal areas of North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey. We're working with each of those states, and in particular as it relates to FEMA, the military, law enforcement, all of the different groups that are involved. Storm surge and inland flooding are possible, and everyone needs to remain vigilant until it passes. I encourage everyone to follow the guidelines of the state and local authorities. We're working with them, and I think the guidelines have been very accurate so far, so stay safe. Next, let me provide an update on the path forward for our country as we continue our war to defeat the China virus. We're beginning to see evidence of significant progress. Nationwide, the number of positive cases has declined by nearly 6% from the week before, and the positive test rate has also dropped from 8.7 to 8% over that same period of time. An encouraging sign, very encouraging, I have to add, that the virus is receding. In hotspots across the South and West, we've seen slow improvements from their recent weekly peaks. Arizona's weekly case counts have dropped 37%. That's a tremendous drop, and the governor and the state have done a fantastic job. Down 37%. Texas down 18.7%. I was there a couple of days ago. And Florida, 21.2% drop. So that's a tremendous job that they're all doing. As we begin to contain the virus in these states, we must focus on new flare-ups in the states where the case numbers have risen, including Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Missouri, and I think you'll find that they're soon going to be very much under control. Meanwhile, 18 states continue to have very low case numbers and low test positivity rates, under 5%. Alaska, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Montana, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming. It's under 5. Even in these states, however, where the virus is under control and at a very low number, Americans should continue to be vigilant, be careful, in order to prevent the new hotspots from opening up, or any new hotspots from opening up in those states. To that end, I urge all Americans to continue to socially distance, wash your hands, wear a mask when you cannot avoid crowded places, and to protect the elderly. Very, very important. Protect the elderly. It's much different. Young children have very strong immune systems. We've learned how strong they are. But protect the elderly. The average age of those who succumb to the virus is 78 years old. That's the average age. It's important for all Americans to recognize that a permanent lockdown is not a viable path toward producing the result that you want, or certainly not a viable path forward, and would ultimately inflict more harm than it would prevent. As we're seeing in foreign countries around the world where cases are once again surging, you have many places where we thought they were under control and doing a great job, and they are doing a great job, but this is a very tough, invisible enemy. Lockdowns do not prevent infection in the future. They just don't. It comes back many times. It comes back. The purpose of a lockdown is to buy time to build capacity, especially as it with respect to hospitals, learn more about the disease and develop effective treatments, as we did in the United States. We're doing very well with the vaccines and the therapeutics. Countries where there have been very significant flare-ups over the last short period of time are Spain, Germany, France, Australia, Japan, and also, as you probably heard, in Hong Kong, they've had some very serious flare-ups. Japan has gone, a lot of six-fold flare-up. That's a lot, but they'll get it under control. In our current phase, we must focus on protecting those at highest risk while allowing younger and healthier Americans to resume work and school with careful precautions. Ideally, we want to open those schools. We want to open them. At the same time, we're placing an emphasis on continuing to drive down the mortality rate with improved care, treatment, and medical interventions, building a bridge to the introduction of a vaccine. The vaccines are coming along incredibly well. Today, I'd like to also provide an update on the actions of my administration and the work that we've done. We're really taking an increased interest, and we're seeing numbers that nobody can even believe in terms of percentage increase. It's telehealth for American patients. The percentage increase is being worked on right now, but it's very, very significant, numbers that you would not even think possible. This has been a priority from the beginning of my administration, when we launched an initiative to allow veterans to connect remotely with their VA healthcare team, and it worked out really well. We have a 91% approval rating in the VA in terms of the job we're doing. This is the first, it's the highest ever recorded. Now telehealth is a critical part of our path forward in the VA, and it's becoming a critical path, especially with our senior citizens. You don't have to go to the doctor's office. You don't have to go to hospitals. When the invisible enemy struck our shores, I took immediate action to eliminate regulatory barriers to telehealth, making it easier for patients to consult with doctors from safety and convenience. And really, they have great safety and great convenience right from their homes. Today, I'm taking action to ensure telehealth is here to stay. Moments ago in the Oval Office, I signed an executive order to make many of our regulatory reforms permanent. We've done some regulatory reforms that have had a tremendous impact on what we're doing, on medicine and medical and what we're doing. They can do things that you wouldn't believe, that even a year ago, 2 years ago, would not have been doable. We're enshrining the right of American patients to meet with their medical providers in a way that is best for them and very, very convenient, and very talented people on the other side of the line, I have to tell you. The order builds upon a series of actions we've all taken to make telehealth available to all. We ensured that Medicare covers telehealth visits at no additional cost. That's no additional cost. And co-payments can be waived for telehealth services. We are working very hard also on prescription drug prices, and I will tell you that the favored nations clause that I've signed into existence, nobody thought anybody would ever do that, has a massive impact on prescription drug prices. In addition to the three other elements of reduction of drugs, particular prescription drugs, but the favored nations clause is massive. For instance, if Germany buys a pill for 10 cents a pill, as an example, just as an example, and the United States pays $2 for the same pill, we get the same privilege, the same right as they do. Never had that before. We paid all of the expenses, all of the research and development. So the numbers are astronomical, and as you probably noticed, big ads are taken against me by Big Pharma. Very big ads, very massive buy. But in the meantime, they're calling. They want to know if they can make a deal. And I say to people, the only reason these ads are being taken is because prices are coming down for you. And they understand that. I think our people understand that. But in particular, when you look at the matching, you could call it matching, or you could call it favored nations, call it whatever you like. It's a tremendous, it's going to have a tremendous, and I'm talking about 50, 60%, 70%. That doesn't mean it goes to 10 cents as an example, but theirs comes up and ours goes down. And you have many, many countries where their numbers, the numbers are so low. I mean, so low, and by that I mean much lower than the United States. Another thing I'm doing is if a certain country like Canada buys for very much less than the United States has bought, how they allowed this to happen, representatives of our country standing at these podiums or in the Oval Office, how they allowed this to happen is just, to me, incredible. We've been working on this for a long time. I've been talking about it with Kayleigh for a long time, right? So now a governor like Ron DeSantis of Florida is doing a great job, or a great governor of Ohio, or a great governor of any state can call up and buy the drugs directly from Canada at sometimes 50% less. So we'll be buying from Canada. Now, what the drug companies are going to do, maybe they'll raise them, maybe they'll lower them, or maybe they'll just give up and sell them to us directly much cheaper. So a lot of things are happening. Also, the rebate. We have people that are very wealthy that nobody ever heard of them. Nobody knows who they are. I guess in some cases they can be pharmacies. In some cases they're individuals. We're doing a rebate, and the rebate goes to the people. It lowers the price of drugs. So we have a series of 4 things that we signed, and you will see over a period of fairly short period, drug prices are going to be tumbling down at numbers that nobody would have ever believed possible. We have, in 51 years, the only time prices came down was during this administration. It was last year. 51 years it went up, but that was just a small decline. This is a massive decline. This is a decline that nobody can believe. I was called by senators. I was called by congressmen. Please don't do this. But Big Pharma doesn't mean anything to me other than we want them to do a great job. We want them to get their vaccines. We want them to do what has to be done. So I think you're going to see drug price reductions over the next 4 or 5 or 6 months. It'll probably take a little while to kick in, that are going to be at numbers that you wouldn't believe. But in the meantime, they called on Friday afternoon. They want to meet, see if they can do something else. They don't like favored nations clauses. I understand that. We vastly expanded coverage, allowing Medicare to cover more than 135 new services through telehealth, by the way, including physical therapy, emergency department visits, home visits, mental health counseling, substance abuse treatment, which is a very big priority. We brought the substance abuse, at least prior to the China plague, or whatever you want to call it, we brought it down very substantially. Pediatric critical care and much more. Thanks to our actions, an estimated $2 billion of additional funding will support Medicare patients receiving telehealth services. So a very, very big priority on telehealth. As part of the CARES Act, we secured $200 million to help healthcare providers and hospitals expand their telehealth, and they're all doing it. They're doing it gladly. Prior to the epidemic or the pandemic, whatever you want to say and how you want to refer to it, but prior to the pandemic, the telehealth was fine, but it wasn't anything raging. And I guess one of the only good things that we've gotten out of this whole horrible situation is telehealth has been incredible. And again, the increases are, many hundreds of times greater than it was before. Do you have a number? It's like 2,000% or something like that. It's an incredible increase. You'll get the number, but it's. I think they have it now finally, and it's really an incredible. Thank you, Kaylee. We work with the leaders of major health insurance companies to ensure coverage for the telehealth visits related to coronavirus. We cut red tape to allow many services to be conducted by phone rather than video, which is much simpler, providing a much easier option for many seniors in particular. 35% of the Medicare beneficiaries who receive telehealth services, or over 3.6 million seniors, did so over the phone. So you're talking about 3.6 million seniors. That's something. 10.1 million Medicare beneficiaries have accessed care through telehealth since the beginning of the pandemic. So you're talking there, 10.1 million people. In April, over 43% of all Medicare primary care visits were done via telehealth, and compared to less than 0.1% in February. Those are part of the numbers that I think I'll have you get them. So this part you don't have to. You'll get the other section. Thank you. So think of that, compared to less than 0.1%. 0.1%. That's an incredible number. So over 43% of all Medicare primary care visits were done via telehealth compared to, so you went from 0.1% to 43%. That's an incredible, it's an incredible number. The executive order I signed today will also expand healthcare access in rural America. We take care of rural America. It directs agencies to deploy strategic investments in our rural communications infrastructure. And we're working very hard with all of the people in government that are involved with the communications infrastructure so that the telehealth gets very quick and easy access. Additionally, revenue for rural providers varies significantly from month to month, making it difficult for many to stay in business. Many are having a very difficult time. To help fix this problem, my order will create a voluntary Medicare payment system that will give rural hospitals flexibility, really great flexibility, and a more consistent income stream to better serve their patients. Furthermore, I'm directing the Department of Agriculture, Department of Health and Human Services, and the Federal Communications Commission. We were just with the heads of each one in the Oval Office just before I came up to the podium to form a task force that will break down barriers to expanding rural health care. This order continues my administration's focus on rural health care. We allocated nearly $165 million through the CARES Act to support nearly 1,800 small rural hospitals who have done an incredible job, as well as $11.5 million to expand technical assistance for rural and underserved areas. We allocated another $10 billion to 2,000 rural hospitals and more than 2,400 rural health clinics. We waived burdensome licensing, certification, and registration requirements, which took tremendous amounts of time. And these are people that had great reputations and great track records for practitioners that serve on the front lines in rural areas, allowing more medical personnel to serve their wonderful patients. We're also, in terms of PPE, ensuring that the state and local areas have the supplies they need. We've been supplying hospitals and cities and states, governors, helping governors at a number that nobody's ever heard of before. 15,440 nursing homes have received a second shipment of personal protective equipment. They're very much stocked up. They're in great shape. They all have the ventilators, all the ventilators they need. They have actually more than they need. And their equipment, medical equipment, is in very, very good shape. They're full. My administration has worked with the private sector to deliver over 100 million N95 respirators, 85 million gloves, and nearly 250 million face coverings nationwide. We continue to make the extraordinary progress that we've been talking about together on vaccines and treatments under Operation Warp Speed, which is very exciting, most exciting. Last week, we distributed 2,979 cases of remdesivir, which is proving to be extremely powerful and good, enough to treat more than 19,000 patients, had great results. This includes 500 cases for Florida, 500 for Texas, 300 for California, 200 for Ohio, and 150 for Arizona and Georgia. And those numbers will be going up rapidly as we move along. Hospitals are reporting an adequate supply of steroids such as dexamethasone that are used successfully in late-stage illness. They've been very good. We're also very encouraged about the prospects for plasma therapies, and that we're working on, and that's a brilliant art. It's really an art. And we launched a national plasma drive last week. I was at the Red Cross building with the American Red Cross and 13 other healthcare organizations. I urge everyone who has recovered from the virus to go to coronavirus.gov, coronavirus.gov, and donate plasma today. We would really appreciate it. This really makes people better. But we need that beautiful ingredient that you that got better seem to have in your veins. You have to go to coronavirus.gov and donate plasma today. It would be tremendous. We really appreciate it if you do it, because we're low. We're low. We could help a lot more people. And it would be a terrific thing. It'll take an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour, but everybody will be very appreciative. Makes people better. And, you had something very special. You had something that knocked it out. So we want to be able to use it. So whatever you can do, coronavirus.gov. As a result of improvements we've made in treatment for Americans over the age of 18, the mortality rate has declined 85% from its April peak, 85% decline. On vaccines, last week we announced a $2.1 billion partnership with Sanofi and GSX to purchase and produce 100 million doses of their coronavirus vaccine. 100 million doses. This is the sixth vaccine candidate we are proactively supporting. We're supporting numerous companies that are doing very well, having wonderful results, and they're in final stages of testing. There are now 2 vaccines in that final stage of clinical trials in America, with a third vaccine likely to begin phase 3 almost immediately. And we have additional clinical trials scheduled over the next few weeks for a couple of the other companies. These are great companies. These are companies that are not only well-known, they're well-respected, most importantly. We're balancing speed and safety, and we're on pace to have a vaccine available this year, maybe far in advance of the end of the year, and we're mass producing the most promising candidates in advance so that we're ready immediately upon approval. We have our military lined up. It's logistics. It's all about logistics. They deliver a lot of things, including soldiers, but now they'll be doing vaccine. Our general is all ready to go, and he's very excited. And once we have the vaccine approved, fully approved, he'll start the process. They will start the process, and they'll get it out very, very quickly all over the country, and maybe beyond if it works as we think it probably will. By unleashing America's technical and scientific brilliance, we will end this pandemic, and we will hopefully end it very quickly. The therapeutics are very exciting to me, where you can go into a hospital, and whether it's through a shot or a transfusion, you take care of somebody and they get better. That's something to me is very important, and we're doing really well on therapeutics and really well on vaccines. So Thank you all very much for being here. We'll take a couple of questions. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. So if I can ask your response to 2 items in the news and ask a COVID question. First, have you been briefed on the incident off the coast of California where the Marines and the Navy Corps hospitalmen who died in a training accident a couple of days over the weekend?
They're actually briefing me in a little while. We have it scheduled for a little while from
Are
now.
you able to speak to the families?
Oh, it's terrible. No, it's terrible, and we'll be in contact with the families. A thing like that is terrible.
Separately in New York today, the city prosecutor confirmed a criminal investigation into the Trump Organization. Do you have any reaction to that?
Well, I just heard about this. Is just a continuation of the witch hunt. It's Democrat stuff. They failed with Mueller. They failed with everything. They failed with Congress. They failed at every stage of the game. This has been going on for 3.5, 4 years. Even before I got in, this was starting with the Mueller deal. Mueller started a little bit after, but it started with some of the people that you know very well, the names, Strzok and Page, and all of the different people, Comey. This has been going on. This is a continuation of the worst witch hunt in American history, and there's nothing that I know even about it. You know, I had seen that today, just a little while ago, and I said, "What's this all about?" I know nothing about it, but it's just a continuation of the witch hunt. Didn't work out for Congress. Didn't work out for Mueller. Didn't work out for anybody. So what they're doing is they send them around to all over the country, I guess, maybe. But it's a terrible thing that they do. It's really a terrible thing. The witch hunt has gone on long enough. Okay. What else?
And just one on COVID. You mentioned the vaccine development program. Could you assure the American people that politics and considerations around the election will not interfere in the science?
Absolutely.
And
No.
you plan on playing a role in just determining how the vaccine will, if there is one, will be distributed across the country? Is that something that you'll
It's
decide?
possible that I get involved, but no, it won't have anything to do with. We want to make people better. We want to send them to the areas that most need it. And I think we're going to have something very soon. It's going good. Jeff, please.
Mr. President, you said today in a tweet that Dr. Birx was taking bait from Speaker Pelosi. What did you mean by that, considering that she was just describing the facts about the case of the pandemic right now across the country?
Well, I think we're doing very well, and I think that we have done as well as any nation. If you really look, if you take a look at what's going on, especially now with all these flare-ups on nations that they were talking about. And don't forget, we're much bigger than India and China. China's having a massive flare-up right now. India has a tremendous problem. Other countries have problems, and I noticed that in the news, in the evening news, I never read about that. In any of the news, I don't read about the other countries. You're starting to see that other countries are having very big flare-ups. Countries that thought they were over it, like we thought we might be over it in Florida, and then all of a sudden it comes back. They do come back. But I think we're doing very well. I told Dr. Birx I think we're doing very well. She was in my office a little while ago. She's a person I have a lot of respect for. I think Nancy Pelosi's treated her very badly, very, very badly, very nasty. And I'm just referring to the fact that I thought that really they should say the job we've done, whether it's on ventilators or testing. We've tested now over 60 million people. No other country is even close to that. We've tested 60 million people with great, in many cases, about 50% now rapid fire, meaning 5 to 15 to 20-minute tests where you get the result almost immediately. Nobody has anything like that. Nobody. And I think we're just doing very well.
Does that mean just to follow up just quickly,
Go
does
ahead,
that mean
please.
you disagree with her characterization, Mr. President?
Go ahead, please.
Thanks, Mr. President. I wanted to follow up on 2 things that you said earlier in the cabinet room. The first was on TikTok, and the second was on coronavirus. On TikTok, you said that you wanted money for the U.S. Treasury from the
Yeah.
sale. Does that mean you expect the Chinese company to pay the U.S. Treasury directly, or are you talking about...
Either way, whether it's Microsoft or somebody else, or if it was the Chinese, what the price is, the United States should get a very large percentage of that price, because we're making it possible. Without us, you know, I use the expression, it's like the landlord and the tenant, and without the lease, the tenant doesn't have the value. Well, we're sort of, in a certain way, the lease. We make it possible to have this great success. TikTok's a tremendous success, but a big portion of it's in this country.
From the sale directly.
It
you
would come
expect
from the
to-
sale, yeah. Whatever the number is, it would come from the sale.
And then you
Which
mentioned...
nobody else would be thinking about but me. But that's the way I think, and I think it's very fair.
And you
But
mentioned
we want no security problems with China. It's got to be an American company. It's got to be American security. It's got to be owned here. We don't want to have any problems with security, etc. And something could come out. I will tell you, there's a lot of excitement, not only by Microsoft, but by other companies in terms of buying it. So we'll see what happens. But we want, and we think we deserve to have a big percentage of that price coming to America, coming to the Treasury.
then on the negotiations on Capitol Hill, you expressed some frustration and said you might take executive action to address.
I might do that, yes.
So I was wondering if you could talk about both how you might prevent evictions through executive action, and then also
Yeah, I can do that if I want, and I want to do that. I don't want people to be evicted, and when they're evicted, when they're thrown out of their whatever the place may be, in many cases they go to big shelters. And if you talk about pandemic, this is a pandemic, and they go to shelters. Number one, they're thrown out viciously. It's not their fault. It's China's fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's China's fault. But number two, and if they are thrown out, they oftentimes will go to a shelter with tremendous numbers of other people, and the virus will spread. And we don't want that.
Are you considering suspending payroll, the collection of payroll taxes?
Well, I can do that also through an executive order, so we'll be talking about that. But we're having a very good discussion with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. The problem is they want to do bailouts of their various Democrat-run states and cities. And they want a lot of money. They want $1 trillion for that. And so they want to do much more than COVID-related. They want to bail out cities and states that have been in trouble for years of bad management. In all cases, Democrat-run cities. And we don't think that's fair. You understand that. You've heard it before. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thanks, Mr. President. I wanted to ask you about the Justice Department sending federal agents into cities like Chicago as part of Operation Legend. How exactly do you envision these federal forces working alongside local police departments to help stop violent
It's
crime?
not a mass send, but it's sending very talented people to help them with the drugs and the shootings and the guns and the things that are happening. It's not like sending in the National Guard and stopping it cold, which is an example. A lot of progress has been made in Portland, but, frankly, sending in the National Guard like we did in Minneapolis, it stopped it cold. From the time we sent that National Guard, they walked down the street. It was over in Minneapolis. Now it may be starting up again. These are Democrat-run cities and states, and it hasn't been a pretty picture to watch. We will help Chicago. We'll help New York if they have to request the help. But we want to stop the drugs. We want to stop the guns. A lot of the Chicago is guns, but what it is drug-related, gang-related, largely gang-related. With ICE, we send out thousands of MS-13, thousands and thousands of MS-13. We send them back, or in some cases have to put them in prison. They're too violent. They're truly violent. So we're helping out. When you look at what's happening in Chicago and some other cities with the shootings and the killings, they need help. And we haven't met with resistance, I have to be honest with you. I think it's good that we haven't. We're only looking to help them. We're only looking to help. OAN.
Thank you, Mr. President. In our nation's 243-year history, there has never been a stronger push for mail-in ballots to determine a national election.
Yeah.
Are you considering at any point issuing an executive order addressing mail-in ballots, and why do you think some people are pushing it so hard?
Well, there's never been a push like this for mail-in ballots, and if you look at the New York congressional race, which is a disaster, Carolyn, it's been a total disaster. They're 6 weeks into it now. They have no clue what's going on. And I think I can say right here and now, I think you have to rerun that race because it's a mess. Nobody knows what's happening with the ballots and the lost ballots and the fraudulent ballots, I guess. I think you probably have to take the Carolyn Maloney race and run it over again. How can you do this? And this is a small race with literally thousands of people, small thousands, and it's all messed up. You look at Paterson, New Jersey, it's all messed up. Almost every one of these, and these are small, easy to control. They should be able to do this easy. Now you're talking about like Nevada, where last 2 nights ago, they went out and in the darkness of night, without people, without having any meetings of the public, without having anything, they approved a ridiculous, you don't have to look at signatures, you don't have to approve anything, you can have double mailings, You can have all sorts of things. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's a disgrace. I mean, honestly, it's a disgrace. So it's a very good question. I mean, the mail-in ballots, if you look at just some of the small places, the small races, a congressional race in New York, it should be very easy. Normally that would have been announced at 7 o'clock and it would have been down to the wire and everybody would have loved it. If it was at all complex, it would have taken an extra 45 minutes or an hour. They would have announced it a little bit later. They have no clue. This was about 6 weeks ago, and they have no clue what's going on. They've lost ballots. There's fraudulent ballots. How are you going to do that for an entire nation? They're using COVID to try and get the mail-in ballots. Now, absentee ballots are great. Absentee ballots, they have to request them. They go through a process. They get them. But the universal mail-in ballots have turned out to be a disaster. And what Nevada has been doing, if you look over the last few days, you have to look at what they've done. You can have 2 ballots. You can harvest. It's harvesting. So you can take thousands of ballots, put them together, and just dump them down on somebody's desk after a certain period of time. They have something where if you vote, the vote can count up to 7 days later. Well, if the vote's going to count 7 days later, that means if it depends on the one state like Nevada, that would mean simply that you can't have, supposing it's down to that one state, it could be, it's a great state, but supposing it's down to that one state, that means you have to wait 7 days. But they won't have it there. This is something that's so messed up. And by the way, I have to say, the post office for many, many years has been, run in a fashion that hasn't been great. Great workers and everything, but they have old equipment, very old equipment. And I don't think the post office is prepared for a thing like this. You have to ask the people at the post office. But how can the post office be expected to handle? They have regular mailing. And then now on top of that, they have the internet where you have Amazon and these companies doing, all the buying. Instead of going to a department store, they go buy through mail. So you have massive numbers of purchases now going through the post office, purchases of items and gifts. And that's a tremendous strain on the post office. The post office loses a fortune. It has been for many, many years, for decades. So now on top of it, it has this. And the Amazons of the world and the others, they pay very, very little money. They lose money on the post office loses money, which is ridiculous, on every package it delivers. But now on top of that, and I'm not just referring to Amazon, I'm talking about all of the competitors, if there is such a thing to Amazon. There will be, but if there is such a thing. But now on top of that, you'll have somebody like the governor of Nevada come out with this massive plan out of nowhere to take millions of ballots and send them all over the place. You'll never know who won that state. It'll get messed up just like New York and just like Paterson, New Jersey, and just like many other places. In West Virginia, they indicted a postman for doing something very bad, you know that? But there are many cases all over the country. If you look, you'll be able to find, there's a list of them all over the country, and that has to do with universal mail-in. Again, absentee is great. It works. Like in Florida, they'll do absentee. It really works. But universal mail-in ballots is going to be a great embarrassment to our country.
Is there an executive order on this?
Well, I have the right to do it. We haven't gotten there yet, but we'll see what happens. We will be suing in Nevada, and that's already been taken care of. We'll probably file something tomorrow. I do want to say that we're going to be introducing a tremendous health care plan sometime hopefully prior to the end of the month. It's just about completed now. In addition, next month we'll be doing the immigration plan. So we'll be doing that in September. We'll be doing sometime during this month the health care plan. And I think that'll be before the end of the month. And I think it'll be very impressive to a lot of people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Postal Service says it has capacity for the election service. Mr. President, the Postal Service...
All right, folks, thanks so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. If you liked our coverage, make sure you give it a thumbs up and you share it on social media. Share it on Facebook and Twitter and Gab and Reddit and Parler. Share this video all over the place. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And if you are new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe and click that notification bell, and hopefully YouTube notifies you for future President Trump live streams. But if you want to get notified 100% of the time, and you want to get notified by us here at Golden State Times instead of YouTube, then text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. Once again, text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. And then that way you get notified by us instead of YouTube. And you get notified 100% of the time. Thank you so much, folks. Follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times or on Parler at Golden State Times. And we hope to see you guys here on the next one. But until then, my name is Jen from Golden State Times, and I will see you soon. Peace. All right, folks, so that was for the video upload. If you guys missed the president's Q&A with reporters, I am uploading it onto the channel right now. I'll let you guys know when it has been uploaded. Thank you so much once again for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. If you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe and click that notification bell. Hopefully YouTube notifies you when we go live for another press conference, rally, press briefing, President Trump's speech, or anything in between. We'll send you a notification 100% of the time if you text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. Once again, text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. We'd like to give a big thank you to all the moderators for keeping the chat clean and enjoyable for everyone. I'll be back on the microphone to let you guys know when the video has been uploaded. All right, folks. So the video has been uploaded onto the channel. The video has been uploaded onto the channel. In case you guys missed it, go and check it out. Let me know if you guys got notified in the chat. Let me know if you guys got notified. We just uploaded the video right now. Let me know if anybody in the chat got notified. If you got notified for the live stream, that's awesome. But let me know if you just got notified right now for the video upload. If you didn't get notified, I'm putting the link to the video in the chat. Head over to the video, give it a thumbs up, share it on social media. It'll help us out immensely. Thank you so much for being the best part of Golden State Times. Once again, if you did not get notified by YouTube, click the link that I am putting in the chat. All right, folks, thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you so much for the feedback. If you didn't get notified, click the link in the chat that I am putting in the chat right now. I'm going to shut this live stream down, and if there's any more, press conferences or whatever, we'll be back online. But if not, then we are going to be uploading a few more news videos and updating you guys on what's going on at the White House, in Congress, and in politics in general on our Twitter at Gold State Times. So make sure you guys join us. Follow us at Gold State Times on Twitter, and we will see you very soon. Peace. Don't forget, folks, if you did get notified by YouTube, always click on them. That way YouTube knows to notify you for future uploads and notifications for live streams and stuff like that. So if you just swipe it or you just leave it there, then YouTube, it will probably think that you're not that interested. So if you are interested, make sure you always click on it. Even if you're not going to watch it at that time, you're going to watch it, at another time. That way, that YouTube algorithm knows that you are interested in watching our content.